So hello everyone, and I hope everyone is well. So we have a question here on homework 5, chapter 9, problem 11, and I just want to go over this with you a little bit here. And they want you to use the dividend discount model that was in your book. They want to know, they want to, again, and they want to estimate, remember, estimate the value per share of Procter & Gamble. So let me read this to you. So Procter & Gamble paid an annual dividend of $2.82 in 2018. And I'll show you, here's the timeline. You can see that, right? You expect Procter & Gamble to increase its dividend by 7.8% per year. So that's probably what they're doing here, right? If you multiply this by 7.8 each year, you'll get the change in dividends, right? For the next 5 years. So this goes up by 7.8. This goes up by 7.8, 7.8, 7.8, 7.8. And thereafter by 3.4%. All right, so I believe if you take roughly about 3.4% of this, roughly about 13 cents or 14 cents, you'll get, excuse me, you will get the growth for the dividends from there on. And you notice it says thereafter. So they're implying forever. See the dash here? If the appropriate equity cost of capital, so this is what this is what their equity cost of capital is. It's 7.7%. So the equity cost of capital is what it's costing them, okay, to take equity, to borrow equity from you, okay? That's their cost of capital. So, they have to pay dividends and the like, right? So if they borrow money, that's what it's costing them to borrow money. So if you were to borrow money for a mortgage, right, or a car loan, your cost of capital would be whatever the mortgage or car loan rate is, all right? Okay, because so that's the way that kind of goes. That's their cost of capital. So we're going to use this dividend discount model to come up with how much the estimate how much the share is worth based on cash flows. Okay, so let me bring this up, and then we'll go through this. So again, here's the timeline, right? Here's the dividends, right? So the price per share will be now these are all given, by the way, right? You just calculated them by the percentage. The price per share will be the present value, and as I said, we're using the present value formula of all future cash flows. In this case, we have a 5-year stream of cash flows that grow at 7.8% per year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And an indefinite or like a perpetuity number of cash flows that grow at 3.4% per year. The appropriate formula to use is as follows. And here's the equation. And you notice I say there's several ways to express this formula. So what you're going to do, this means sum. Sigma. This means add up, sum. So everything to the left is just the sum of the first 5 cash flows. Okay, you put the dividend up here. Here's your cash flow, and here's your equity cost of capital. And you'll notice you're going to do this for 5 years. N is 1 to 5, right? Okay, because that's all known. Plus, we have one other term. We have the growth term that goes on forever, the perpetuity. So we've got, after the 5th year, we have the perpetuity growing. So we got to use this again, okay? And here's the dividend for the 6th year, which is $4.25, and that's a growing perpetuity, okay? That's the growth rate of 3.4%. And here's your equity cost of capital. So this is called a growing perpetuity. This is in your book. And basically what we're doing here is we're getting the present value back of that growing perpetuity. And we're going to use that plus the first 5 years to get the price of the stock. That's all. We're estimating what the price of the stock is. So P0 is the current price per share. N is the dividend at year N, and RE is the equity cost of capital, and G is the dividend growth rate after the 5th year. So what we got to do is basically take this equation here and we plug numbers in. So for the first 5 years, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll notice we get here's the dividends, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see those dividends going in right here? All right, and again, here now there's a little mistake here, I think, as you can see. You notice it says 7.8% per year here. Everyone see that? The growth rate? Well, here they have 7.7%. So I believe there's an error in here, and it looks like there is, right? 7.8 versus 7.7. And this last term right here, see this term here? The perpetuity term? That's right here. So here's the 6-year dividend as that goes in. And again, here's the growing perpetuity. And here we are present valuing that back. And again, this should be a 7.8, right? So that's really all there is. You take this equation and just take the numbers off the timeline. Here's the dividends, the forecasted dividends that are going to grow. Here's your equity cost of capital, and here's your growth rate. It looks like they got that right, 3.4. And I don't know. So you got to be careful with these problems. That's why I always tell you to please email me. They really are a problem sometimes. All right. So if anybody has any other questions, feel free to get a hold of me. That was an excellent question. Thank you to the person who asked me that. Okay. I hope I was clear, everybody.